Gooey. Good. I don't know what word that was. Go gooey. 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 Gooey.
Is that a Dragon Ball Z word?
Oh, don't want to go.
Goku.
That's got to be a new best for starting off a podcast. Gooey.
There we go. That's how we start a podcast. We just shout noises and that aren't words. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Wargamers Anonymous with myself, Josh from the Pickle Jar, and my esteemed co-host of many episodes and live streams, Mr. Elston from Elstonation.
Oh, yo.
Elston is... I'm not sure what the PC term is, if I'm honest. Elston is here with me. Not here with me. We're doing a video call, but he's with me in spirit.
Here like the Force, I'm with you.
Yeah, you're like old crotchety Yoda ghost.
Yeah, faded blue Yoda. Like, I'll hit you with a stick, I must.
Anyway, right, yeah, we're off to a cracking start already.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you enjoy the podcast and what we do, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, follow us on all the places.
Hit the bell, you must.
Yes, hit the bell. Leave a like and subscribe and all the other things on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts and wherever you're listening to us on all the different platforms.
You will have to excuse Josh as well. He is I was about to go to sleep and then I've had all kinds of fucky aroundy shit going on with my messages, so it was like half an hour late on the messages. But I was about to go to sleep and then I was like, right, now I'm gonna record. And now I've had a burst of energy and I'm intending on bringing Josh up with me, even though it's kind of later on and we're a little bit more in the chilled out hours where we would normally be like...
to be fair, I've just had a busy day. I've been rock climbing this morning. I went and finished off doing some decorating for my mum straight after that. And then I've been entertaining Alfie, which isn't physically draining, but it is mentally draining when you're trying to play a cooperative pirate game with him. And instead of being focused on fighting skeletons and sailing a ship, he is focused on collecting snake meat from a distant beach.
Ah, is that...
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
So it was mentally draining. So I've had my tea. He's in bed. I've had some yogurt. I'm also what day is it? Thursday. I'm also day 4 into trying to eat a bit healthier, which is going well so far.
Right.
But I'm just about at the point where I am getting past being sort of a bit grumpy about it.
Right. Yeah.
I've eased off a little bit. I've eaten a little bit more today because. Mm-hmm. When I start dieting, I go hard. I just go full cold turkey, and I diet.
Right.
But the result of that was that yesterday I ate about 900 calories of food.
Yeah, that's not the healthy kind of dieting.
No. So I put a message out on Twitter and basically said, people that know about food, can you please advise, is this good or not? Because I've got a feeling that it's not. I'm sure someone's told me before that you're supposed to eat less, but not like stupid less, because then your body does weird things. And a few people said, yeah, you should probably eat a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But just like eat more like other stuff. So I've decided I got some yogurt and some blueberries and had those as like a snack, and I had a slightly bigger dinner.
Okay, well, interesting. I've been on a bit of a diet myself. I'm cutting down to trying to be like 2 meals a day. Just to kind of balance it out. And
as you're a hobbit, are they both breakfast?
Breakfast is one. Breakfast is one of them. I do have to consume breakfast. But it's kind of like getting used to hunger, and like hunger's not a bad thing. Like if you can get past the point of getting agitated by it, you can get to the point where you actually start getting a whole burst of new energy, which is really quite strange.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm actually quite awake. I'm hungry, but I've got loads more energy. And I've lost about 1 stone.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh.
But mine's been spurred on because I've started going rock climbing again.
Okay, cool.
And I used to, brief history of me, I used to teach rock climbing.
Yeah.
In like my early 20s. So I used to climb pretty much every day, because if I wasn't there for work, I was there for just socializing and climbing.
Right.
And obviously I've not done it for a long time. Everyone that I climbed with stopped climbing. I stopped climbing, and obviously I've sort of got older, and other stuff has sort of taken over.
Dad life.
Yeah, dad life. And with that comes a dad bod. And so I started going climbing just for just doing. I wasn't initially going for weight loss. I was going just because I enjoy rock climbing. I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a social going with someone that I work with, which is nice because I don't think I've ever socialized with anyone from work, or at least not in the last sort of 15 years.
Okay.
So it's been quite nice. But then since I've been going climbing, I've realized that I either weigh too much or I don't have enough muscle to support the weight that I am carrying around. So the options are to either bulk out a lot or lose the weight.
Exactly.
And losing weight seems like the better option.
Yeah, exactly the same thing with me as well, because I was trying to do calisthenics and I can barely do like 10 press ups now, and I'm like, I used to be able to do like 50 to 100 quite easily, and it's just I don't have the muscle in my arms like I used to, but also my body is a lot heavier, so I've got all like yourself. It's kind of like the double whammy effect of like my body is not ready to do this, so it needs to become lighter, so that then at least my weak muscles have a chance to start growing again to compensate. Yeah.
That's it. And it just sort of, it upset me a little bit the first time I went, because I was like, I used to be able to climb a hell of a lot better than this, and like more difficult like routes and higher grades and stuff.
Right.
And I felt like, well, I'm basically like, I'm climbing like the second easiest grades at the center that I go to at the moment, because that's pretty much all I can manage.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that once I lose a bit more weight, because I know the technique, and do you know what I mean? I'm quite not flexible, but I'm maneuverable. It's literally, it is just the amount of, I'm a bit embarrassed, but I'm not embarrassed to say it. When I weighed myself yesterday, I weighed 17 stone and 11 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Which is, I think that's the most I've ever weighed.
Right. What's the ideal weight you want to get to?
So a few years ago, when I lost quite a lot of weight through dieting and stuff, I got down to, I think I was down to 13 and a half.
Okay. Cool.
And I wanted to get down to 13, but if I'm honest, I think between 13 and a half and 14 is like, that's my sort of ideal for like my height and stuff as well. And especially, but it's like I've said and Wendy's said as well, it's not necessarily the weight itself, it's where it's carried.
Yes, yeah.
Because I'm aware that obviously if I'm going climbing, I'm going to be getting muscles back in places where I currently don't have many muscles, and muscle weighs more than fat. So I will get rid of a lot of the weight from the fat, but then I'll put weight back on through getting extra muscle. Yeah. And like it'll still be a net loss.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily the weight itself. Like if I get down to 15 stone, but I look okay on it, then that's fine.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wargaming Show, where we talk about fitness and health to get us all started up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, that's just it's a slight tangent, but that's kind of what's been going on in my life at the moment.
Yeah, well, I'd say a similar kind of thing, as I said, I've alluded to as well. But as we said before, we started recording, there's I've been up to some things, and I wanted to see. I think this is going to make you laugh as well. Okay. So, like, a couple of things I've been up to. I've been painting like a madman. I've been painting all my Shatterpoint stuff. I've nearly run out. I've been on Instagram. I've been posting a mini a day for about 31 days now of Shatterpoint models, and I'm getting towards the end. But it's been a fun little ride. Fingers crossed they released the Cad Bane lot. And yeah, you know about that already, Josh. I can't say about that yet.
Yeah, I can't say anything about the Cad Bane box either.
Yeah. So, hopefully that will carry on just for a little bit longer. But I've also, today I released a video on my Death Corps of Krieg army. Everyone still seems amazed by it. And I'm pretty sure I painted this 2 years ago or something like that and released it. And everyone's still a bit like, wow. I'm like, old project. I in all honesty, when I sort of teamed up with Lockie on it, it was more a case of like, I'll try to explain as well. I sent it over to New Zealand for Lockie to record in his Dawn of War battle reports. So I think that's coming out tomorrow, from what I understand. Anyway, it was more of an excuse for me to have a reason to do the video, because I've got like terabytes, or I've got gigabytes of data that I've been sitting on for a while. I'm like, I can't just put out another video like I painted another army. And then all this thing with Lockie, and I was like, cool, right? I've got like there's a slight idea to put behind doing this.
There's a bit more of a story and an angle for it.
Yeah, exactly that. So I did that, but
which I'll remind me in a minute. Come back to it. It's giving me inspiration for my Star Wars Legion stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. I will remind you. But the bit which I think you're gonna really like. So I've been talking about the Dragon Ball Z diorama thing, the mini you sent me for my birthday.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I started recording the voiceover for it, and
I don't like where this is going.
Right. So I was trying to think of the spin of like, how was I going to do this? All I do is I paint a mini and then do a little diorama with it. And I was like, what's the angle here? How can I make this interesting? So I roped the narrator in to narrate or voice over the tutorial with me at the same time.
Nice.
So I cannot tell you how much weird fun I've been having in my own little head of being like saying, all right, so this is how I paint skin color. I use a thing called Bugman's Glow. And they're like, excuse me, did you just say Bugman's Glow? I'm like, yeah. He's like, is that some kind of sex noise? And you're like, no, it's like it's a GW paint called Bugman's Glow. It's like, it does sound like a sex noise though, right? And you're like, well, yeah, now that I think about it, it does sound like a sex. And like those kind of conversations have been going on for the entirety. And I'm so happy about it.
It's fun I like doing that sort of stuff. I like doing the skits that I've done before in like beginning of some of my videos where I've got me and then I've got Boss Josh.
Yeah, right.
And occasionally there's Slacker Josh as well that turns up.
Right.
Yeah, it is fun. It's fun doing those and like scripting them, and because even though like mine is generally the same, I don't have a separate voice, but it's the
attitude.
Personality, the attitude. Yeah. But yeah, they're fun to do. I like doing stuff like that.
But the interesting thing with mine is I haven't scripted it at all. I'm literally picking myself apart.
But you don't know how to script.
I do. It's just...
No, you don't. You've told me what you do when you do voiceover. You have a 20-minute video and then you sit in front of a camera for 6 hours then go through it and trim it down.
That's not always true. I just hate writing scripts. So, like yourself, sometimes I pick points, but with this...
To be fair, I don't write scripts. I can't remember the last time I wrote a script for a video. Yeah. At the most, I make bullet points of, I need to remember to mention this, and that's about it.
Sometimes I like kind of putting a sentence or a phrase together, which I'm like, I need to put that in at some point, and bits and bobs. But it's been comically entertaining, especially because it's about painting an anime character. Having this effectively outsider that is my own brain that would say all the things that I think other people would say, like the people who just don't get it, who don't get any of it, who's a bit of a snob at the same time, like picking me apart. And like, it's such a weird, like schizophrenic state that it's made me chuckle throughout the entirety. And I really hope it's going to be a funny video because so far I've been nothing but giggling to myself whilst recording it. So,
well, I'm looking forward to seeing it, mainly because I bought you the model.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. And exactly. Like, and the thing is, there's stuff like that in there. It's like, so yeah, this is the model my friend Pickle sent me. You've got a friend called Pickle? Yeah. His name's Josh, but his nickname's Pickle. Pickle? Like, yeah, Pickle. Is that a euphemism? No, it's not a euphemism. It goes on like that for a while. So, yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I've been painting, as I said, crazy busy.
So you've got all your shatter point. Have you got everything done now? Then you have, haven't you? I know it's not all been posted yet, but you've painted everything, haven't you?
Yeah, so I'm probably going to touch up the droids tomorrow because that gives me another couple of days worth I can post out. Because I just want to get some colors, some actual like color markings on them because otherwise they're just plain. But yeah, the rest of them, they're all painted up, barring the things I can't talk about. And also, I've got the Obi-Wan Darth Vader kit on its way.
Nice.
So,
cool.
Yeah, they'll be adding to it. I'm kind of hoping I could get them all painted up, so then I can just finish, and it'll be like cool, right? There's
but then they'll release more.
Yeah, but it won't. Like, it's not going to be for another month at least. They're doing it like isn't it every month they're releasing?
Yeah, at the moment the release cadence has been 2 boxes every month because we had the core box and then alongside that was the Dooku and Obi-Wan box.
Yep.
Then we had the Grievous box and the Duel box.
Yeah.
Then we had the Luminara box and the Jedi Hunters.
Yes, yeah, Inquisitors, yeah.
And then the most recent pair was Mace Windu and Night Sisters.
Yeah, that was it.
And obviously there was the terrain boxes as well as that.
Yeah, and then after that it was going to be Cad Bane and Padme.
Amidala, yeah.
And then I think the next only one I know that's supposed to be coming out is Ewoks.
The Ewoks have been shown off. There's what I'm assuming is like a Return of the Jedi box.
Yeah.
Because you've got Luke he's painted up with a green saber like he's in his Return of the Jedi outfit.
Yeah.
You've got Leia in Bounty Hunter disguise. You've got Lando in Bounty Hunter disguise.
R2-D2.
With the drinks thing on.
Yeah, and Vader as well.
No, so that Vader, I don't think that Vader is from that box because all the rest of them are themed as Jabba's palace.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you've got Lando and Leia in the Bounty Hunter outfits. You've got Luke. You've got R2 with the drinks tray. So I think that is one set.
Do you think Vader's going to be in another set?
Well, yeah, because in the image we saw from like the cabinets and stuff, you saw like some stormtroopers with Vader. So I think the Vader is in another set with some stormtroopers.
Okay, so maybe next month might be the second trilogy, i.e. the first trilogy, depending on the second chronological trilogy.
Original trilogy.
The original, that's it, that's it. So possibly next month.
Like I said, I don't, well, there's a stream in September at some point, isn't they? The mini extravaganza thing?
Yeah, but they're doing, it's Legion, Marvel Crisis Protocol, and Shatterpoint, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that they'll show off a load more Shatterpoint stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. From the sounds of one of the, like they've like titled all the different shows that they're doing within that. One of the titles is like it's just good business or something like that, and it very much makes it sound like it's going to be a Honda model from Clone Wars and Rebels.
That'd be cool.
Which would be cool.
Yeah,
I hope, because like I know that a lot of the stuff that they've done has been sort of Clone Wars prequel era stuff.
Yeah,
there's only really the Jedi Hunters at the moment that are in that sort of in-between stage.
Oh, they could do the Bad Batch.
I'm hoping they will do it at some point.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I mean, I personally want commando droids and droidicars. Just because I want more droids.
That would be, droidicars would be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they'd just be on the bigger bases, wouldn't they? And they'd just be one on each base. They'd have to be on the bigger ones though for the leg span.
Yeah, yeah. What was I supposed to remind you of? Something about Shatterpoint?
Oh, Shatterpoint. So, no, not Shatterpoint. Sorry, Legion.
Legion. All right.
So, this is kind of it's like an ongoing joke. My Star Wars Legion project. You know, like when you watch a sitcom and there's just like a recurring joke. Like it gets funnier the more it's done. And then they'll leave it a few episodes and then they'll bring it back and it's funnier.
Yeah.
Well, that's like me with Star Wars Legion. Like I mention it every now and then and go, I am going to do it. And then I don't.
All right. Okay.
So originally my plan for that project was to basically take inspiration from you, Elston, and say, right, can I do what Elston does? Can I build and paint like an entire army, not just an entire army, like a ridiculous amount of stuff for one army, like the entire collection of Separatist models. I own everything that you can use for Separatists in Star Wars Legion, and I own at least 2 of everything.
Right.
So like I have a stupid amount of stuff.
Okay.
Like, can I get it all, build it all, paint it all, base it all, get it all done in like a comparatively short amount of time compared to generally what people would spend on doing a big army project.
Sure. Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the answer is no. I can't. So that was going to be the original plan. Now I'm taking inspiration from Elston in a different way from his most recent video, where he's at the end of it. It was quite nice actually, because I think a lot of times people look at the videos that we do and they'll see like a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video and go, "Oh, that doesn't take long." But as you said, that project took you like a couple of months,
easy,
and cut down into a 20-minute video. So I think what I want to do with my Legion stuff is I'm going to get the stuff that I've got. I want to try and get it finished. At the minute, I've got a couple of things coming up that I know I'm going to be working on, but other than that, I'm calmed down a little bit.
Right.
So I feel like I can get a good chunk of the rest of the stuff that I've got to painted, especially because I'm on a bit of a Star Wars kick at the moment from Shatterpoint.
Right.
I'm going to use that as a jumping off point, a bit of inspiration to go through the last few bits that I've got, get them all painted, and then get that video edited and done. And I think I'll be talking about why you shouldn't try and hobby like other people hobby.
That's a really good spin.
Because I'm fine with it. I have fully accepted, like, this is how I hobby. I am very, very different to Elston. And we see it a lot. Like, and you must see it a lot, like when you post stuff and people go, "Oh my God, it's like amazing. I wish I could paint like that. I wish I could do that." Like, I think I'm on a bit of a sort of mental health kick at the moment, like for myself and for other people.
Right.
And I think it's just really important that people celebrate what they're good at rather than being jealous of what other people are good at.
Right. And like, oddly, I know that all too well. And I know what kind of a freak of nature I am when it comes to painting at the same time. And
like, I'm not a slow painter.
No.
I just don't have the same focus and if I'm honest, the discipline of getting up every morning and doing painting every morning. And do you know what I mean? And I'm working something till it's done. I'm very much like, I paint when I want to paint.
I don't even think it's a discipline. Like, so this is what I've been trying to tell people in a real roundabout way. It's just, it never really made sense until like moments like this where I'm like physically, you probably can't paint like me. Like in an actual, if I break it down into every single segment, because my job means I analyze time and I analyze my own time and I analyze other people's time as a professional person. That's my job. And people can't do it because there are so many factors in the world which simply do not allow you to be able to do what I can do. And that's not, it sounds brutal when I say it like that, but here's the nice way of doing it. You have responsibilities which I don't have. So you have a child, for one. That instantly means you have a week, because it's every other week you have Alfie, right?
Yeah.
Where your mornings, you're probably getting him ready for school. Your evenings, you wanted to spend time with him. Your weekends, you're entertaining because you're a good dad. So instantly, I have gained about 30 hours over you because I don't have that responsibility. So I have another responsibility. I have a dog, so I walk my dog for about an hour a day, 30 minutes more. So I lose about 6 to 7 hours over what you do. But at the same time, you like playing computer games. You like doing stuff like that, or I less so. But that's not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form, because that's another hobby and that's a good thing you use to de-stress, like acclimatize, have fun, stuff like that.
This is exactly it.
That's really important because if, like, I do it now because it is kind of a habit, if anything else, and it's very habit for me. So it relaxes me. It's kind of my hobby. It's my hobby at the end of the day.
Well, this is it. And it's like, I mean, like I said, I'm not a slow painter like that. The Kraken model that I posted up on Instagram and Discord and stuff this morning, I painted that last night. I started painting at about 9:30. And it got to 12 o'clock and I had finished the model and I was just messing about doing stuff on the base. So I put like the base and stuff on last night. I got up this morning when it had all set and dried. I put a bit of pigment on, tidied the rim, and that was it done. So in total, that model took me like 3 hours.
Yeah, if that. So yeah.
So like I'm not a slow painter, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't think it's a speed paint job. Like I'm pretty happy with like the blends and stuff on it, and the highlighting and stuff. But yeah, it's like I've painted that one model, and then I stopped because that was what I was doing. I was painting this one model, whereas you sit down and you go, I'm going to paint these however many. Yeah. And it's a slight difference.
Yeah. I mean, I think what I try to praise and try to sing about is the people, and here's an odd thing. Like I watched the painting phase, obviously, and Peachy's there. And Peachy is an army painter like me. And I can see him desperately trying to validate army painting. Like it's a weird subtle undertone. So I'm probably reading too much into it because I overthink like I'm a bastard. But like you can see him like when he's talking to like Richard Gray, and Richard Gray's like is a master painter, and Richard Gray gets all the recognition for being this incredible painter. But an army painter puts just as much work into it, and if not, I say the result is probably equal to or greater than one model. It's just the photograph is like, it's hard to see a large army and see how much work has gone into it because it's just
this is it. I mean, to be honest, like I will always find a fully painted, fully done, fully based army that is finished way more impressive than like a photo where half a leg is painted. And that's not a diss on Richard Gray. It's just that is what I see when he posts stuff. It's usually just, here's a work in progress. Like I've been sent this. Yeah. I managed to get this boot painted in the 3 weeks that I had. And I'm like, I really appreciate that. Like he is a really high level painter, and he's like his stuff is gorgeous.
Yeah.
But if I spent 3 weeks painting a boot, then every project that I have would be like my Star Wars Legion projects. And it would be not finished.
It's a weird little goal that I have that which like people like Richard Gray will never achieve. Is I have a goal that one
shots fired.
Yeah, I have a goal that one day I'll finish this. Like. That is my overall goal, is I've finished my pile of shame.
Yeah, you can't ever finish it though, really. Yeah. Like, I mean, you can, but then like, what do you do when you finish it? You buy more stuff, and then at that point, you've not got it finished.
Yeah, that's true. But it is to say like, because we all accumulate these monster piles of shame. We're always collecting. We're always gathering all of this stuff, and to turn around and do that one weird thing, we go, yeah, I finished it.
Tell you what, if you ever did actually finish your entire collection and then do a video on that, that should be a video that did, like, do you know what? If one of the other channels did a video, I completely cleared every miniature that I own.
Yeah, right.
Like that would be an amazing video,
right? And that, like when do you ever see that on YouTube?
You don't, because no one does, because everyone's like me, and they go, I have 99% sure that I will never touch this model that I've got in this drawer.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get rid of it because I might want to one day.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Honestly, I was sat in my spare room the other day, which is starting to look a little bit like a stock room. I'm not even joking. And I was going through stuff like, realistically, am I ever going to work on this? Is this a faction that I'm interested in? Right. Is it a model? Like, yes, they all look nice, but like, am I actually bothered about painting it? And for a lot of the stuff, it was no, probably not, because I either don't do that army, or it's one of those where it's
yeah.
There's just too much. There's too much stuff. There's not too much stuff. There's a lot of choice out there, but then.
It starts becoming like you have to pick the best choice.
This is it. You have to pick and choose what you want to work on. For me, recently, that's been Shatterpoint, same as you.
Yeah.
Although, funnily enough, I've still not finished my core box. I've still got a Circa and Bo-Katan to paint.
Okay,
it's because I was working my way through the core box before I started on the others, but then when I got this I had a game booked in that I was supposed to be playing tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
I started working on some other bits so that I'd got my actual team that I wanted to use built up.
Oh, cool.
But now that's finished, I want to get Ahsoka and Bo-Katan finished, and then I'm going to start working my way through the expansions. I think the Night Sisters might be my first.
They're fun. They're fun.
It's red robes, which I like painting,
Mhm.
and then it's swirly green magic stuff, which I
Right.
also like painting.
Yeah.
And like lots of opportunity to do fun, glowy stuff.
In all honesty, all of the Shatterpoint stuff, I don't think I've come across a model I didn't enjoy painting, because all of them are a challenge. All of them are a character in their own right. So they're all, it's like the clones are kind of getting a bit like, I kind of figured the formula out for them now, but
Yeah, I mean there are a lot of clones though. There's
Yeah.
is there like 8 clones? There's like 4 sets.
Yeah, if you don't include commanders, then
Where you get two in the core set, you get 2 with Windu, you get 2 with Luminara,
Yeah.
you get 2 with Obi-Wan.
and then you get Cody, you get Rex, and Pons. So there's 3 clone
And then
commanders
you
as
throw in
well.
the 3. Yes, there's a lot of clones.
Yeah.
in the collection.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, they every single one of them has been a joy to paint, basically. So I much
I
like.
think my favorite of yours, I think, is probably Windu still.
Oh really? I thought Dooku was your favorite.
I do like the Dooku, but I think your Windu is like the skin tone on it. Like you've got the skin like perfect.
Do you want to know?
Like-
Do you want to know what the trick was with that?
Did you just zenithal it and put a
No.
wash on?
No. You just highlight with normal skin color,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all. It's like you paint on brown to start with, and then you just highlight with normal skin color, and then you get African skin tone. It's really like, huh?
Mind blowing.
Right? I was just like, oh, okay. But yeah, thank you.
I suspect what I will end up doing is I'll end up painting like the Jedi from each of the boxes, and then I will probably just batch paint, almost batch paint the clones, because the majority of the armor will be the same method. It will be white prime, and then like what's the I can't remember it's a contrast or a shade. One of the new ones, is it Graveyard? No, Soul Blight Grey.
Okay.
Shade thing, which I put on it, and then I just give it a bit of a highlight.
See, I like your clones, your 501st, because in, I think, Mandalorian, when Grogu is getting a flashback of being in the Jedi Temple, and you see the 501st come running into like slaughter babies, they've got a kind of gloss armor, and like yours remind me of that. They're a little bit more on the glossy side of things.
I hope not. They're all matte.
I get that vibe off of it, but I'm not sure if it's just the vibrancy or the tone or whatever like that.
It's probably just the white is very clean with battle damage on it.
Yeah. I again, like all the other things I do, Shatterpoint is also an achievable goal because I've nearly finished it already. So it's kind of
that's the thing. It's not like saying I want to paint every model that is in Warhammer 40k. Like every model in Shatterpoint currently stands at like 48.
Yeah,
I think I've got a spreadsheet keeping track of all the stuff that I own and all the models that is included in that. Because the only box that I don't have is the Luminara, the plans and preparations box.
Okay, cool.
That's the only box that I don't own.
Wonderful. Well, has there been anything else you've been up to as well, hobby-wise?
Hobby-wise, I would like to say yes, but I'm not allowed to, basically. No, to be fair, I was working on some stuff. I'm now not working on that.
It's like just been your life for the past 3 weeks. I was working on it. Now I'm not.
Yeah, basically. Which is why, I mean, I've kind of just fallen back on just doing Shatterpoint, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide on whether I want to do some content around the sort of gaming side of Shatterpoint, you know, some sort of like how-tos. Like,
yeah.
So here's the thing. I really like Shatterpoint. The game is really, really fun.
Yep.
The models are gorgeous. The rules themselves are actually fine, but the rule book is really badly written.
Yeah.
It's really badly laid out. It's really bad.
It's very wordy as well. Like
it's
to
very
get to the
wordy.
point, like you're trying to do is like 3 pages down. Yeah,
like I understand why they have it like all written out, explaining situations and stuff. But then what they need to do is have them bullet points. Like Games Workshop, as much crap as you want, but their rule books are laid out properly. Everything is in order. So like if you want to do something that happens at the beginning of the sequence, it will be earlier on in the rule book.
Right. Yeah.
And then you can go through and you can do it point by point. Whereas stuff in Shatterpoint in the rule book, it's like there's stuff that's at the beginning and then you have to skip forward a few pages and then back if you want to do something else. And it's all over the place. It could do with being really tidied up and just sort of streamlined. So I'm thinking, and I see all the time on like the Facebook groups, people asking questions that are answered in the rule book, but because of how convoluted it is and all over the place, it's getting missed.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to do a sort of like, here's how the game plays, or like, here's how you build a squad. And like, do you know what I mean? Like, here's how scoring works, and just do like some short videos like that, or maybe put it all in one video. I don't know, but I'm thinking about doing some sort of, I've not really seen anyone doing it for Shatterpoint. I've seen people do it for like 40k where they go, here's a list and here's why it works and here are all the different synergies and all that sort of stuff. And I'm kind of thinking about doing something like that for Shatterpoint, like just doing either different themed lists or different sort of, in quotation marks, competitive lists.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few channels out there that are doing like the tier systems already and like top primaries and stuff like that. And those ones are okay. They're a little bit meta-y, so not so much introductory. So it comes along with people that are experienced in making inside jokes already about the broken rules system that is something you're like, look, guys, just like make it a bit more user-friendly to like people that just don't know.
That's what I figured. There's a lot of people asking stuff. There's a lot of people wanting to get into it. And if I've got like a handful of videos, or like I say, or one longer video that is a complete introduction, it might go down well, but then it's completely different to the stuff I do normally because I don't really focus on gameplay and rules.
Yeah, you might be attracting a weird audience if compared to your normal one. I don't know. It's...
But then I'm at a point where I'm like, do I care?
Yeah.
if I can maybe vaguely help people, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do it as shorts. Can I fit that in a short? Might be rushing a bit. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe. I'll be intrigued.
So that's some ideas that I've got. I have got a load of stuff sort of planned in the near future, sort of as and when
stuff is allowed to happen.
Yeah, as and when stuff arrives. I'll be doing some GW stuff at some point in the future as well. Just because, like, I know that I've been enjoying Shatterpoint, and I really have. Like, it's not like false enthusiasm. Like, I have really been enjoying painting Shatterpoint stuff and playing the game as well. Like, I've played more games of Shatterpoint than I have of 10th edition.
Yeah.
So I have really been enjoying it, but I think I am at a point where I'm kind of ready to work on something else because I don't want to burn out on it. I don't want to do it to the point where I'm fed up of it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I want to work on something else, maybe some batch painting or maybe just some sort of speed painting stuff or just like a smaller scale again, like 40k stuff or Age of Sigmar or something.
Well, there's some new Underworlds and Warcry sets coming out as well. So yeah, depending if the Mystery Man and Santa are nice to Joshua, he might be able to do them as a bit of an early tease for everyone. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what Santa brings in mid-October.
Who knows? Who knows what's coming? I'm at a point where stuff just turns up every now and then, and I sort of go, all right, cool.
Santa's arrived. Yay.
It's August. Yay. But the downside, I say downside, the thing that also stopped me from doing, I'm a bit annoyed with myself if I'm honest, because I basically said before I finished work, I work in a school.
Right.
Obviously, I'm right at the end of the 6-week holidays now. Like when this episode goes out, I will be back at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had 6 weeks off and I have done one video.
Welcome to life as an adult.
I kind of accidentally took like 2 months off. Like it wasn't on purpose. Like I was planning on doing stuff, and then like some things got in the way.
Well, before you go on a self-deprecate, a word.
Before I do that,
before you do that, let's talk about one of the things which did distract you during that summer holiday period, and that's Pickle Fest.
Yes, there was Pickle Fest.
Yeah, that was the thing which distracted you, wasn't it?
Yes.
Pickle
Fest was good.
Yeah.
So on the episode that we released last week, we actually recorded that like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's like, you can get tickets for Pickle Fest here. It was 2 weeks ago.
It was really fun listening back and going through like to edit that like so far after it had been recorded. Because like I was sort of sat there going, well, that didn't happen. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
But no, Pickle Fest it went really well.
Yeah.
All the feedback and the sort of response that I had from the event was that it was really well received. Everyone seemed to like the sort of format, that sort of smaller scale, bit more low key,
cool,
sort of setup.
Yeah.
Definitely be doing another one next year.
Yeah.
So Pickle Fest 2024 will be happening. No dates or anything yet, but it will be happening. Probably at the same venue. If I think, just because I don't want to go too big too fast.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time, and like a lot of things happened which I didn't. In all honesty, I had no idea of what to expect. To be fair, of well, it's like, oh, I'm going to show up and paint.
I mean, I organised it, and I had no idea what to expect.
But then you got like Pete from Transatlantis Games. He was a gem. Like he was such an interesting person to have that, and him bringing the entire range down for us to try out paints wise for the Duncan Roach 2 Thin Coats range. That was awesome. I was just like, oh, this is cool. And he's like, I'll try this color. And he's telling me about all these, because he's been in the hobby for ages. He's an ex-GW member. He's telling us about Duncan, everything. And it was just like, you are just an interesting person to be around. Like, just keep on talking. And then he bought me a pint later. I need to buy him one back next time we do it. So hopefully as well, we'll get him on a podcast so everyone else can listen to his wonderful dulcet tones.
No, it was really cool. So we had Pete there who, like Elson said, brought all the 2 Thin Coats paints, both Wave 1 and Wave 2. He brought me my copy of Wave 2, which I have been using a little bit, especially the glazers.
So good.
Yeah, they're perfect for lightsabers. So he came and brought the paints. We had Tom's Bunker, who came with his crew and did a fantastic Star Wars Legion demo. Yeah,
everyone go subscribe to Tom. He's like,
go and check out Tom.
He's a local boy to me as well. So
he's absolutely fantastic. A massive thank you to Tom for coming and helping with the event. I was running Shatterpoint demos on and off most of the day, as well as sort of running around and doing. Getting people drinks and making sure everyone was all right, and just generally worrying. Yeah,
oddly, I ended up doing a Shatterpoint demo somehow.
Yeah, you did a demo as well. Like I went away to do something, and I turned around, and then Elsa was doing a demo, and I went, "Well, that's fine."
It was like a weird thing because I was like, I think I wanted to like. BoffNet was, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I ended up in that situation. I honestly don't know. I think it was BoffNet. I was talking to him and he's like, I was intrigued. I was like, I can show you a bit about it. And then I started teaching him, and then he got an opponent out of nowhere. Tilly came along and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, this is a full-on demo now. So
yeah, but then you had like a massive crowd.
I know.
Which I mean, like, must have looked even bigger for you.
I was like, why has everyone shown up for this?
So we had all that. We had all the painting stations, which we had to add more space to because more people wanted to paint. We had the painting competition, which Rule One to Explode, Ruby, won the Golden Pickle.
That was really good.
Absolutely gorgeous Dark Angels model. So we had that. We obviously had Elston and Judge there. So on hand, did anyone actually come and ask you guys anything?
No, well, I mean, this was something I was going to talk about. Like, not necessarily talk about, but kind of have a look, think about for next year, because we were in like a kind of a U-shaped formation, and because the paints ended up getting put in front of us, we effectively no one came near us because they didn't want to like come in. So I'm thinking next time we'll find a way to make us more accessible.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I set it up in the sort of U formation because I thought it'd be a bit more. You'd be central, and people would be then around you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I mean, clearly it didn't work as intended, but
it was
trial and error.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like Mikey came and sat down. Orky said hello. We had Pete there, and everyone was just doing their own hobbies. So we were like, well, we don't really need to like give advice for people who are just having fun. So,
we had that. We had people playing games of 40K and Blood Bowl, Frostgrave, like all that sort of stuff going on. And then about halfway through the day, we did the content creator panel.
Oh, that was fun.
Which was fun. There was yourself, we got Mikey from Hellstone Wargaming, we got Keris from Let's Make It Okay, and obviously me. It was good. It was a good day, and then followed by a trip to the pub for some food and drinks.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think, if anything, I would look at maybe see if we can do something a bit more special for the food or something afterwards, maybe. I don't know. The only thing I would have liked to have done is have like an evening, a chilled out evening of gaming, like beer and pretzels time.
Well, the option was there. We could have stayed in the venue, but because the option was either stay in the venue, like order some takeaways and just like play games, like the people that had like me that had been sort of working most of the day, like yourself as well, and get some more games on the go and just sort of turn all the tables into gaming tables, or to go somewhere else.
Sure,
And we opted for going somewhere else, but I do think next time I will look at just staying in the venue later on and just having it as like we'll have the main event in the day, and then in the evening we'll do a sort of like later like just chill, like say the chilled out gaming, or maybe we'll like do some other bits in the evening or something that people can get involved in, or I don't know.
That I think mainly because I know you and me wanted to have a game of Shatterpoint, and we didn't really we didn't get time to do it, and like it got to the evening as well of that day, and I was like,
we were both knackered.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but it's definitely there's definitely things to improve on and things to sort of tweak and change. But overall I'm pretty happy with the format of it. Yeah,
I've even taken inspiration from it as well for ChillCon as well. With our guests that are coming over to ChillCon for Derby, I'm going to do painting with the stars. So very much like your Graham Norton style format, but I'm going to add in an element of their painting at the same time. So try to catch them off guard and see if they let their guard down whilst they're painting.
Nice.
And see how that works, and see if we can get a bit of an audience, because last ChillCon, it didn't quite work the way, it wasn't bad, it just didn't really make a lot of sense, because if you wanted to meet the guests, you could just meet them. They were wandering around all of it. So it wasn't hard to just go up and talk to them. So having them in an area for an hour to talk to them made no sense, really, looking back on it. So now I was like, well, if I take inspiration from Josh's thing and do an interviewer style thing, and then we'll sit them down, paint, interview them whilst they're painting, gives them a bit of a challenge sort of thing. So it's a bit like, have you ever seen that Andy Serkis Paints a Grey Night style thing that GW, when they did Chaos Gate, Andy Serkis did some voices over for it, and they did a little show clip thing where they got him to paint, and they were asking him questions while they were painting, and I was like, we could do something like that.
Has ChillCon announced the guests yet?
Not yet. Hasn't announced it. I spoke to the guys at the painting phase today. I know Pat is up for it, so he's going to talk to Peachy and Jeff. So hopefully they're coming over, because I think Derby is a lot closer to Nottingham than like it seems like it's a 10-mile drive. It's 10 minutes away or something like that. Derby and Nottingham, they're pretty close. I don't really know distances in that area.
They're fairly close. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at the Derby one or not yet. I think it'll very much depend on how the week before that weekend goes.
It's also on a Sunday.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's a Sunday, so I'll be working the Monday.
Yeah,
it's obviously a bit more of a drive than the Sheffield one for me.
Yeah.
Which it's a bit of a selfish reason, but I live close to Sheffield, so
that's fair enough.
And also, I'll be going to the Sheffield one in
whenever that is.
Whenever that is, I'm assuming the end of that.
Yeah,
I don't know, because like they had one at the end of last year, but then they did another one in March or April.
I think it'll be September. I think it'll be when they probably do it. I think that's
September next year.
Yeah, September next year. It's either going to be late August or September, I would have thought. However, they haven't announced when that's going to be yet. So hopefully we'll find out. So,
I'm assuming that I'll be doing that one.
Yeah.
If it happens, if it's a thing, then I will be going because it's local to me. That's the one that I've always gone to.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And also, like next August, I will or July or August, I will have Pickle Fest 2, like Trip Boogaloo to organise and do.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, it should be fun. I think Valrak might be showing up as well for the Derby one, at least. Those are the two I've got. I'm going to talk to some other people. I'm going to see if Rogue Minis wants to come along.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just people. It's just generally like get some people to show up. So, I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, if anyone's around Derby area, March 17th, ChillCon, and hopefully pencil it in for August, late July time for Pickle Fest 2 because it's a lot of fun. Seriously, a lot of fun.
As soon as I've got dates and stuff booked, I'll probably get tickets on sale or like soon after that, just so that people can get it booked in and know what they're doing.
Nice.
But yeah, I've not even started looking at it yet because I've got other stuff I need to book before then that aren't hobby related, they're for other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah, I do want to do it. I enjoyed it a lot this year, despite the stress beforehand. So it's something I can improve on, and like I said, I think everyone just enjoyed it because it was just generally a pretty chilled out space that they enjoyed being in.
It was a place where it was almost like a little sanctuary where you can go hobby and game, and there was.
Do you know what it was?
What
do you know what it actually was?
What that?
Remember Games Workshop in the sort of 90s and early 2000s?
Mm.
Like somewhere that you could go
hang out,
game.
Yeah, hang out and hobby or play a game or something.
Or just chat to people.
Yeah, it was.
And it's not, I don't knock Games Workshop, but I mean, to be fair, my local store is very much still like that.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of stores aren't. They are just shops now.
Yes.
They're not gaming spaces or hobbying spaces.
They don't have the room, the capacity, or the staff.
Well, most of them are one-man stores now.
Yeah, exactly that. So
like when I used to go to the one in Meadow Hall before it closed and moved to Rotherham, the one in Meadow Hall, like you'd go in some days and there'd be 4, 5, 6 staff.
Yeah.
And their store was about the same size as like my living room and dining room.
Yeah.
And that's because they'd have someone on the till, they'd have a couple floating around, and then you'd have other people sat painting, and then you'd have some room just gaming with people.
Yeah, I remember going into GW in Swindon back in the day, and I think it was like some days you would rock up and there'd be 30, 40 people in the store, and it'd be not a big store, but there'd be a lot of people in there all doing stuff. Yeah. Whether or not that was better for business or not, I don't know. I'm curious to see if that was like there's a lot of people in there, but are they actually buying anything?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like as much as we like to go, Games Workshop's just greedy. They obviously looked at numbers and looked at stuff, and it's a lot of the stuff just comes down to the plain and simple fact of if they let people do certain things in store that they don't actually like. This, like the Meadow Hall store, it stopped running like Blood Bowl events. Right. It stopped letting people book out tables for Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Because people would go in and play Blood Bowl, but then once they've got the team, that's it. They don't spend it they don't have to spend anything else on Blood Bowl. And they're like,
and the kind of market is if you're trying to get middle-aged women to come in to buy gifts for children and everything like that, if it's just ram-packed full of nerds playing a game, they're going to be like, nah.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think what Liam does that's at my local store is probably the best of both worlds. He has people booked in. People book in. They go and do hobby and stuff, and they can socialize. They can book tables out for games. But he has set times set when they can do that, and he has set times where it's open for new people coming in and having like introductions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and he always, whenever anyone comes in the store, he always makes time for them over like his regulars at the back.
Sure, yeah, that's understandable.
Because obviously, and to be fair, it's not a bad store. I don't think I've never had any bad experiences in there, and I've not seen many other people. There's always plenty of men, women, kids. Yeah, all sorts of people in there painting. So it's a good little store. Yeah,
it's I have a similar kind of relationship with Firestorm in Swindon. It's just like I'd be talking to the manager, like chatting, like he's usually sitting behind the till or something like that. But if someone comes in, he'll just ditch whatever conversation, like not mid conversation, but he will make an effort to go, "Are you right? Do you need anything?" But he won't pressure. He's like, "If you need anything, I'm here."
Yeah. That's the best way to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else? What was the other thing? There was Pickle Fest and there was something, ChillCon, that was it. But
ChillCon.
We've kind of...
It's basically, we sort of sat down, earlier this week we went, right, well, we were supposed to record it. Was it at the weekend?
Yeah, I think it was Sunday.
It was supposed to be Saturday or Sunday, and then I was sort of like, do you know what? I'm knackered. It was Sunday. I'd been climbing on Sunday and I was tired afterwards.
Yeah.
So we were like, we'll do it some point week, and then we've arranged to do it today, and then at no point have either of us thought about what we were going to talk about. And that's fine, because today's just been a general waffle podcast. We will we are sort of vaguely back on track with doing these regular. I'm back into a bit of a groove with wanting to do them.
Yeah, I think we're both back more into the making content element.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely. We're going to get some guests on, and we'll have. We'll still waffle on a bit, but we will have some vague topics planned for upcoming episodes. But also, as well, we'll probably just do some more episodes like this where we just waffle on and we'll just see where the conversation takes us. Because it's all about conversation, guys.
It's fun, and like people when they're listening to us on their way to work or whilst they're working, trying to distract themselves from working.
While they're making love.
So, sometimes you just don't care what's going in your ear.
Yeah. If you like to listen to the dulcet tones of myself and Elston from Elstonation while you get your funk on.
Or your penis inside a woman.
Or just anything. Then that's fine by us.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not really sure I'm comfortable with where this conversation went, if I'm completely honest.
It could be like it might not be a woman, or it might be something else. So whatever tickles your fancy.
I think we need to stop.
Is this the end of the podcast?
This is absolutely the end of the podcast.
Have I ended it?
Oh, actually, I do want to say, on a bit of a, not a serious note, but like a sort of I don't really know where I'm going with this ramble.
Okay.
On my Discord server, which there's a link in the description, I'm starting doing a monthly hobby hangout. I am, as I said earlier, I'm on a bit of a sort of mental health kick. I'm very aware of a few people that have been having issues, and I have issues on and off fairly regularly, to be honest. And I've been very aware of a few people that have been having issues and that have been feeling a bit sort of isolated and things like that. So I'm starting to I can't commit to doing like a weekly thing because I have other stuff going on, but I want to do what I can. We have our health and wellbeing channel on our Discord server where you can chat, and I am being more active in there, trying to respond to people and help out where I can. And I'm starting to do a monthly hangout on the Discord. It's going to be on the first Friday of every month. So the first one is tomorrow. I guess there's no point in me saying this actually because this podcast is coming out on Monday.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on the first Friday of every month. If you want somewhere where you can hang out, obviously everyone's welcome to just do hangouts at any point. But I will be hosting one of the first Friday of every month going forward. So feel free to come and join us on Discord. There's no charge for joining. It's free to join. It's a lovely group. It's a lovely little community that we've got on there. Yeah, sorry, I've completely forgot that this episode will be out after that Friday.
No, that's fine. I will add in as an on top icing on the cake element of that. As a person that goes to regular therapy, I will add this to the mix: is if you are ever in a state where you don't know the way out, look for professional help. There is free stuff that you can get online. Don't be afraid, and you'd be surprised at all the people which you might know, which you look up to, that do regular mental health. It's as good as exercise as well. Your brain sometimes needs to unload, decompress. Sometimes you might not feel comfortable talking to even your closest people. I haven't met someone that hasn't been a professional yet, and they are there to help you deal with stuff you're going through, and it's been wondrous for me. It's to say it's changed my life is an understatement. It's helped me acclimatize to who I believe I am, and helped me get through some pretty rough periods. So yeah, don't be afraid to, and also don't be afraid to admit you're doing it as well. There's no shame in it, and there is nothing wrong with it to look for help and look for mental health. Exactly. And it's a mental exercise. It gives you a good workout, makes you feel better. So
yeah. So there you go. That's a really weird way to
we went from
the
penis to mental health advice.
Yep.
So you should see Josh's face with the uncomfortableness that he's like, he said penis on a podcast.
You've said a lot worse. With that, we are going to bring the podcast to a close. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed us rambling on about exercising and mental health exercising and miniature painting
and penises.
And penises. Elston, where can people find you on the World Wide Web?
Oh, people can find me on Elston Nation on YouTube, Elston Nation Minis on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as Elston Nation as well. If you ever need to talk, please message me. I will do what I can. I'm not the most active on social media, but I will try to get back to you. And if I come across as a bit weird, aloof, I am basically a socially anxious nerd. So this is me in confident mode. When you talk to me face to face, I will be a very different person because looking people in the eye scares me. That's where you can find me.
Cool. And you can obviously find me over on my Discord server, which is linked down below, and on my YouTube channel, The Pickle Jar. And then just search for The Pickle Jar on all the various social medias if you want to look at all the pretty Star Wars Shatterpoint stuff I've been painting. That's about it. So thank you very much for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode, which should be out in a couple of weeks, probably, hopefully.
We'll see.
We'll see if we've got a guest. We'll see if it's just us. Who knows? Only time will tell.
Yeah, indeed. No, so this is the point where we need to end the podcast.
Well, we've started it off absolutely fantastically, so
yeah,
I'm sure that we'll be able to end it in...
Oh, boy!
I don't even know why I'm surprised anymore.
Oh, God, I'll say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.